Hello again, hola, and welcome to my YouTube channel here at Benidorm and beyond. I produce entertaining, fun and informative vlogs about the fantastic resort of Benidorm, where I've lived for well over 20 years now, so please come along and join me on my regular Spanglish adventures. And don't forget to leave me a comment, like or emoji, or to just simply share this vlog or subscribe to the channel to help spread the word and get more upbeat vlogs about this beautiful tourist city out there in the world. Today's vlog comes in the form of a latest news update, and this bulletin once more brings you a trio of news items about all things Benidorm that have happened here in the past week or so. And for those of you who watch this channel regularly, I do apologise that I haven't uploaded many videos of me filming out and about in the last few days, as I'm currently rather unwell, so I'm working from home instead, as it were, and scouring all the latest news updates for you instead. My first story brings you the maybe cheering news that it's not just Brits that get boozed up and cause trouble in Benidorm, but amazingly that police officers from the region do too. Just this week, a chief inspector of the National Police, who is also head of the UIP anti-riot unit and the husband of the founder of the Vox political party Cristina Seguí, has been sentenced to 3 months in prison by Benidorm's Penal Court number 3. He was found guilty of being responsible of a crime of attack against 2 Benidorm local police officers, in addition to being considered guilty for 2 minor crimes of injuries, with fines issued for the disturbances. The events occurred one night back in August 2018, when the guilty party provoked an incident with a local taxi driver who didn't want to take his fare due to the inebriated state he was in. At the trial, the taxi driver declared that the National Police officer had displayed irregular, discourteous, violent, unjustified behaviour, which led him to spewing insults whilst punching the engine hood of the taxi and shouting "son of a bitch" and other profanities. Faced with so much abuse, the cab driver told him that he was going to call the police, to which the convicted man replied that they were going to call him, which is when the Benidorm local police were called and a fight ensued. The ruling heard that once the 2 local police officers arrived, the now convicted man, who was on holiday in Benidorm during his days off with 2 co-workers, was found to be affected by the previous intake of alcoholic beverages that diminished but, quote, did not nullify his cognitive and volitional abilities, i.e. he could still function and was completely aware and responsible for his own actions. The Benidorm officers asked him to identify himself, which he refused to do on numerous occasions, claiming only that he was an inspector of the National Police Corps in Valencia, then urging the local police officer to give him his badge number while shaking his mobile phone until it collided with the hand of the local police officer, causing it to fall to the ground. At that point, the guilty man, with intent and with no respect for the authority of the Benidorm policeman, attacked the officer, slapping him in the face, causing him to fall to the ground, at which time his companions intervened to subdue the perpetrator using minimum necessary force. During the trial, the statements of the accused's companions contradicted what the local police had said. However, a video was discovered that was recorded at the local health clinic where he was taken, where the man admitted to having hit the Benidorm police officers. Regarding the tape, the presiding judge said, in this Benidorm case, if we analyse the video, the latter accused, while waiting to be seen by the emergency doctor, freely admitted having hit the uniformed man without coercion, and this constitutes a crime of attack against agents of authority. The sentence is not final and can be appealed, but the magistrate has already sent it to the disciplinary regime unit of the National Police, so let's hope he gets the full sentence that he's been given, as why should off-duty cops be treated any differently to any other drunken tourist? And maybe it will set a precedent for any other holidaying police officer who thinks they can head on down to Benidorm and act out just because they're away from home. My second story brings news of a blaze that started just off the Levante beachfront on Sunday night, when a powerful fire broke out in premises located on the ground floor of a building in La Gavina Passage, or El Pasaje de la Gavina. Whilst the intense smoke left by the flames forced the building to be evacuated, luckily there were no injuries and only material damage was caused. The fire started around 10:18 p.m. in a building located in the lower part of the Edificio Ronda apartment block, according to sources from the Alicante Provincial Firefighters Consortium. The fire, which started for unknown reasons, was in a very developed phase when the members of the brigade arrived at the scene. The flames engulfed a large part of the premises due to the materials inside, which from photos and video on social media seems to be a bar or restaurant, and the firefighters began the work to control the spread of the virulent fire, which after a few minutes caused the metal structure of an area of the commercial premises to collapse, again thankfully causing no injury to anyone. A headquarters vehicle supported by several urban pumpers, a Red Cross ambulance and a mother vehicle with a tank capacity of 11,500 litres of water travelled to the scene, whilst officers from the Benidorm local police force as well as the National Police were in charge of evacuating the residents of the Ronda apartment building as a preventative measure since the fire gave off such a large column of smoke. Despite the fire's spectacular nature, only one local police officer had to be treated for smoke inhalation, and no more injuries were reported amongst the neighbours or firefighters, who worked on until the early morning, finishing at well past 2 a.m. My third and final story is on a lighter note, bringing the news that Benidorm City Council, in collaboration with the environmental section of the FCC concessionaire, has started a chewing gum removal campaign in several areas of our beloved tourist city. The street cleaning department is taking advantage of the current lower season months when tourism decreases to take on this task so as not to hinder pedestrians on public roads, since special machinery is needed, given the difficulty of the elimination of the once sticky but now hardened chewing gum debris. The first pavements to be cleaned are on the Avenida del Mediterraneo, just one back from the beachfront, specifically those in the pedestrian sections that are the ones that attract the greatest traffic of people and where therefore a greater amount of chewing gum is found. Later they will continue along the Paseo de Poniente and the avenues or avenidas of Madrid and Alcoy, which to you and me means all the wonderful beach promenades of Benidorm on both sides of the resort. Other maintenance work will also be carried out along these streets at the same time, and the councillor for the area, Luis Navarro, has stated that the objective is to maintain a good image of cleanliness in the city for when a greater flow of visitors arrives, undertaking these tasks now to have them finished before the Fallas Fiestas, which is when the number of tourists in the city begins to increase significantly. In order to remove the gum from the pavements, an electric pressure washer vehicle will be used, as well as other special utensils and products, and not forgetting good old hot water, as the gum is very tricky to remove from the mosaic tiles, as you can imagine. I personally think that the Town Hall cleaning department here do a fantastic job keeping our resort clean, considering the thousands of people that pound the streets, drop litter and just go about their normal business in Benidorm on a daily basis, so hopefully all the necessary extra clean-up will be done by the mid-March Fallas Fiestas, which sees the streets fill up with giant wooden papier-mâché statues and brings parades, music, traditional costumes and lots of partying and liveliness back to Benidorm after the more sombre, quieter months of January and February. This story concludes today's news bulletin update, and I really hope that you've enjoyed listening along with me. If you have, then please make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of my other regular vlogs, which include detailed and info-packed street and beachfront walks, tours on Benidorm's most popular hotels with a fly-on-the-wall look inside and out, and reviews on cafes, bars and new businesses, as well as loads more updates, news and info. I'll see you out and about next time, and thanks so much for watching as always. Bye for now, adios, and catch you all again soon. Cheers!